Hi and welcome back. It seems that I do need a haircut. Well, let's start build this puppy and see what surprises it has for us. It is a SU, I should maybe turn it the correct way. It's an SU-35S Flanker from Great Wall Hobby in the scale of 1/48. And I'm gonna build the Red 10 version of this airplane. The build will be right out of the box with no add-ons, and I will add a link to the wiki page where you can find more about this airplane. So with that said, let's start to build this puppy. I always use primer on rattle cans. This is Mr. Surface 1000. It's a really good primer, and I always prime each sprue before I even start painting on them. Then I know that the paint will stick to the plastic. When I'm painting my sprues, I always color code them first. So here you can see me paint the number labels with black. Then I know that that part should be sprayed with black paint. It's an easy way to get everything painted quite quick. And here you can see me in the paint booth painting black parts. I'm using an Infinity airbrush with a 0.15 millimeters needle, and it's a really good airbrush. I really love that one. So here you can see I painted some colors on my sprue, so now it's time to cut them off and start building. So now it's time to cut off all the plastic pieces. Don't cut too close and be precise when you're cutting, so you don't cut off any parts that shouldn't be cut. I've done that many times. And once all the parts are cut away, you need to clean them. Take away seam lines if there are any, and maybe some flash. This kit is really nice, so there's not much to clean up. So now I'm trying to put together the rocket chair for the pilot. And it's a new can, so it's quite hard to open, I realized. And it's a little fiddly, but everything goes according to plan, and the kit is really nice. So here we can see it's almost done, the chair. It looks nice with nice details from the start. And now we're gonna put on some stencils. And they are quite small. This was the largest one. I think there were 9 stencils on this rocket chair. And this is a fiddling job. Getting everything in the right position and so on. So the last piece are getting glued to the rocket chair, and it's almost complete. It was a nice build, nothing special to it, no errors from my side. And here I'm doing some small touch-up or detail painting, some silver on the back panel. And here I am gluing the pedals for the pilot. Quite small pieces for an old man like me. And here I came across the first problem with this build. The panels beside the feet of the pilot, they were too thick in the end, so they didn't align straight. So I had to cut some plastic away. So that was really strange. Because the quality seems really good on this model. But sometimes errors happens even in factories. So there must be some design fault here on the side panels by the feet. And this is the finished cockpit. And here I'm doing some hand painting around the cockpit area with that baby bluish color that the Russian jets often have. And here I'm gluing the upper frame within the cockpit, and the cockpit is supposed to be glued to this part from the bottom when it's done. So this is the part when the cockpit gets married to the top part of the body. So it's now glued in place and it looks like this. We're getting somewhere, as it looked like. And here I'm spraying a bigger part of the radar of this aircraft. It was combined with 3 different colors. So as you can see, I'm gluing the radar together here. I should maybe get another camera set up with a top view camera instead of this side camera. It's a little trial and error in the beginning when you're doing something new, as this is for me, but that's the radar. And we have a stencil for the radar that is going to be applied now. This is nothing you're going to be able to see when the model is done, but it's always nice to know what you have done and not done. Now it's time for some weathering. I could have maybe done this before I glued the cockpit to the frame, but I didn't see that as a problem because there's a lot of room to get your pencil down and to swab extra things away. So I'm using a MIG wash. Black wash, I think is the color. It's one of my favorites. You just let it dry for 30 minutes and then you can use white spirit to clean it off. And I'm using that quite a lot. And the radar gets some weathering as well, even though you can't see it when it's finished. So now I'm gluing some pipes on the front wheelhouse. The models includes a lot of pipes that are highly detailed, as you can see. So that's the complete wheelhouse for the front wheel. Getting some glue to the end. And here we have another wheelhouse that sits under the wings, and you can see there's a lot of piping inside here. It's in different colors and it looks awesome. So this is gonna look really, really nice. As you can see, all the pipings looks really, really nice in the wheelhouse. I always use Tamiya's clear coats because I like the way they handle, and I'm always using Mr. Color's leveling thinner. That's a winner recipe. But you can't use that thinner for Vallejo's paint because it just turns out to be mud. So here I'm putting on the clear coat on the wheelhouses. And I forgot to turn my spray booth on. You can see the dust is flying around. And here I'm adding some wash to the wheelhouses. So now it's time to start mounting the wheelhouses on the lower hull of the plane. So I'm just snapping them together and gluing it. And this is how it looks like when they are glued in place. And now I'm gluing the front wheelhouse on the plane. And now it's time for some dry fitting of the hull to see that everything is lined up and every seam looks nice. I always do dry fitting when there are bigger parts. And when I was happy with the result, it's time to start gluing the parts together. And this is the most critical part of the whole build when it comes to gluing. You don't want glue anywhere where it shouldn't be. And I'm always using tape to keep things tight and nice. So that's the end of this episode. So I hope you liked it. And if you have any suggestions for this new channel to become more better, please write a comment and subscribe and hit the bell.